Mr. Michael, good to meet you again at the National Critics' Choice. Please tell us more about your experience in China this year. I know that you mentioned that Susie Wu said that the Chinese wines, especially the white wines, are much better positioned to be paired with Chinese cuisine than red wines. Why is this so? But can red wines be able to be paired with other Asian cuisines such as Vietnamese, Cambodian, or even Malaysian cuisine? There's a lot of argument also that some say that white wine has actually got more aromas, finer and subtle flavors, and it has more levels of expression. Could you elaborate more on that?
Okay, that's quite an intense question. Let me start in general with the food friendliness of cool climate wines. First of all, I think we have to define the word Chinese cuisine. What is Chinese cuisine? Chinese cuisine is probably the most complex term in the world, because Chinese cuisine can be so different in every province. Even in one province you can have 10, 15, 20 different sub-cuisines. So the word Chinese cuisine does not really exist. And looking at the Chinese lunch or dinner, we find out that they usually have one wine, but maybe 10 to 15 different dishes. So we are not looking to pair one dish with one wine, because the next dish is going to be very different and the wine might not fit. So we have to find a wine which is in general very food friendly for this kind of cuisine. And this is in most cases white wines. White wines have a couple of characteristics which make them much more food friendly than most of the red wines. Not all. I'm not saying that there is no red wine which can be paired with Chinese cuisine. But for sure, Bordeaux is in general the wrong choice for Chinese cuisine. And because we need first of all acidity. Chinese cuisine is usually quite rich, and you deep fry, you lose quite a bit of fat in your ingredients. So we need acidity to cut through fat and to make food much more digestive. Second of all, we should not use oak. Oak is something which is bitter flavors, which usually will clash with very fragrant food, which is Chinese cuisine. So red wines usually have low acidity and lots of oak. That's why most of the red wines will not go with the food. White wines from cool climate areas, and I say cool climate areas, usually are stainless steel fermented. If they go into oak barrel, they go in big oak barrel, but nothing small, no barriques, and usually have higher acidity because of the cooler climate. That's why those wines in general are much more food friendly for the Chinese cuisine. This is the first part. The second part of the question was future plans for my book?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the book is out now, and we are trying to get as big distribution as possible to really educate a couple of the Chinese customers. I know that my partner Susie Wu is writing now on the next book with a famous food critic from China about food and wine pairing. They really want to focus on this subject now. So I'm probably only going to be a reader of this book, and but a strong advisor in terms of wine selections. And I think after 3 or 4 years we will see if we need to republish the book, if there is a demand, or if there's maybe we can enlarge it a little bit, because now we've included only Audelim in Austria, Germany and Alsace. We can also think about Switzerland. We can do maybe the Loire from France. Burgundy would also be interesting, or northern Italy. There are a couple of countries which also carry the cool climate title, including Champagne.